Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton.
I'm Charlie Neff. And today our guest is from the legendary boy band O-Town, which was formed and documented on Making the Band in 2000. The band generated mega hits like Liquid Dreams and All or Nothing. Welcome, Erik-Michael Estrada. Woo woo.
Hi guys.
How are you, mate?
You know, we use the word legendary very loosely.
Hey, so I know that you guys are currently on tour with the Pop 2000 tour, which has O-Town, Chris Kirkpatrick, BB Mac, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO, like all the greats. What is it like going on tour with everybody?
Oh, it's been great. We've been doing this package for a little while now. We've been doing this for the last five years.
Oh, wow.
And and so it's taken on different iterations, and this iteration has been just incredible, the way it's grown and evolved, and the organic moments that happen on tour. And I tell people, if you guys want to see NSYNC, you got to come to the Pop 2000 tour, because that's what we're doing. You're hearing the most NSYNC songs that you're going to hear
Right?
anywhere on the Pop 2000 show.
What's it like touring now versus touring back in your heyday? Is it still as wild? Are there any crazy shenanigans, or is it a bit more mature these days?
Epsom salt baths. It's a lot of we need recovery. So there's not a lot of debauchery or anything. We never really like that. I think more so it just takes a lot to put on our show. So we kind of need all of our energy. So we're just trying to fight for sleep time. If there's anything else like that, I hate to bore everyone, but we just need rest. Like it takes a lot of energy. We put a lot out there on the stage.
What is the craziest thing that's happened when being on tour?
Craziest? Ooh, that's broad. I don't necessarily know if there's like a lot of craziness. What I think is pretty crazy, and knock on wood, is that we've been doing this we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary of having come back after having a 10-year hiatus, and in 10 years, not one member has missed a show.
Wow, that's awesome.
Not once have we ever had to perform as three. It's been four all the way, and even through sickness and health, we're married to the game.
Wow.
When are we going to get that fifth on tour, or is that out of the question?
I don't even beat around the bush anymore. That time has passed. We've been this version of us for so long now. We've been this version of O-Town 3 times longer than we were the first time around. So it's it is what it is. We're 4, and I definitely recommend, if you were only aware of that version of the band, like from back then, that you come to a Pop 2000 show, because it's a very different animal. This band is very different now.
Do you stay in touch with Ashley at all? Would he come and see you guys perform, or is it totally like we're living our separate lives these days?
I mean, there's been times over the last 10 years that we've actually come across each other, but no.
Do you think there will never be like a reunion again with the 5 of you guys? Not that it's needed. Not that it's needed. You guys are great, just the 4 of you. But for people watching, wondering, do you think that'll ever happen?
For nostalgia's sake,
yeah.
We've never said no to the idea of having a moment, but it's just the business has taken off the way it has over the last 10 years, and only growing in the last 5. So we don't want to, it's not about changing things like that at this point, but there's no hard feelings or anything. So we would totally have a moment if it was for the fans, for sure.
It's interesting. It's interesting that you raise NSYNC, because there's Justin Timberlake is kind of a holdout there, and it always surprises me that it must be so fun to go on the road with your old mates that you got famous with. I'm surprised that he's not embracing the band either, that sort of stuff. I from a fan's perspective, it kind of sucks.
I think it sucks for all of us. I've been on record saying, I'm a huge fan. I've always been. There would be no O-Town if it wasn't for NSYNC and Backstreet or NSYNC. We were part of the same management team. There are bigger brothers in the business, so it would mean a lot to all of us. You know, we feel like we're the ones keeping the NSYNC juices flowing here, because I mean I'm performing more NSYNC songs than NSYNC as a whole together right now, on a nightly basis. So yeah, I would love for them to come back. Yeah, it does. I mean, for the fans, we would hope that they would find a way to sort of make it happen. I know Chris is very much behind it. Obviously, I talk to him all the time. So we'll just see, man. Hopefully it happens sooner than later.
So we wanted to talk to you about this story. So Simon Cowell announced that he's looking for the next boy band, and he's going to be holding auditions in the UK to find future members. And he released a statement saying, every generation deserves a mega star boy band. And I don't think there has been one to have the success of One Direction in over 14 years. And basically that the industry tends to focus on solo artists. Do you think he'll find the next boy band?
I think it's been enough time. So yeah, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Simon. I believe that, you know, I know Clive, when he was signing us, consulted with Simon, very much so, like in the process of us getting going.
You guys had to audition for him, right? When you were filming
Yeah.
Making the Band. What was that like? What was his process when looking at you guys? What was some of the things that he was looking for?
I'm going to be totally transparent with it. I have zero idea what they were looking for, what the conversations were behind. All I know is that I was nervous as hell, and I just wanted to get in there and not blow my lyrics and not blow my nose. The idea I mean, the insight that he had at the time was probably very much like sought after because of his position with the boy bands he was working with. But then obviously, I believe that they were probably a little bit of inspiration from us. You know, the idea of being able to do a nationwide search on a reality show and then find a boy band. And then, you know, obviously fast forward a few years later after American Idol, Pop, you know, and obviously on The Voice, but like being able to find in One Direction the way he did. I like to, in my private life, think that we had a little bit to do with it.
Yeah.
You know,
that is true, because he met with you guys and you were filming for Making the Band, and it was kind of like he was kind of confused, right? Like, why are the cameras here? What is this for? And then you guys kind of explained to him that it was a reality show, right?
Yeah, back then, no one really wanted to be a reality star. It was a brand new territory. We were sort of paving the way for that music, primetime music, you know, finding that next star from a primetime television show. So it was very new. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. It was very new. And I know that for him, it was probably, he's a lot more used to the cameras now, I can tell you that.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
What is it from you coming into contact with him so much, and him, like, you know, giving you guys, mentoring you in a way when you were doing the show and forming the band? What is it about Simon Cowell that makes him such a kingmaker and maybe the best sort of music exec the world has ever seen?
I think it's all about what you're willing to do and what you're willing to, you know, everyone has bright ideas, but what you're willing to actually put muscle and energy behind. And you kind of see that that's what he's doing here. You know, I think I read something where it does take someone from the outside to sort of put together a group like this. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of, you know, training and culture, cultivating that what it takes to be a group. For us, we had to learn it really quickly. But there's the DNA behind that, and then taking from what you've learned and what has worked before and not repeating that, and taking the stuff that has worked and repeating that. He's the guy. He's the guy to do it for sure.
What do you think a modern day boy band looks like today? Because he even said like he has a little bit of doubts, like he might not find the next boy band. Do you think he will? And if so, what does that look like today?
It's a good question. You know, diversity. I think that's a big deal. That started with us. I mean, it started Backstreet Boys. There was a lot of diversity there. Before Backstreet Boys, there was sort of like you were either an R&B group or you were a pop group, and there was no in between. And obviously, like when Backstreet Boys came, you had like this cultural situation happening. I think you need that to represent, because boy bands represent people. Everyone picks their own. Everyone has their favorite that they see themselves in, or they see their brother in, or they see, a piece of their dad in, or whatever the case. They just like. Everyone has like their own favorite. So I think the idea is to be as diverse as possible. And slashes. You want slashes. You want guys who can do a bunch of different things. Guys who can dance, guys who can sing, guys who can also play music. Being a writer is a must. And then obviously, I think the biggest component that every group needs is obviously there's going to be like the leader guy who's like sort of the most outspoken and usually like does the speaking for the band, but more so there needs to be a level of respect and communication that everyone naturally has. So if there was like, if I could say anything like in retrospect to making the band that followed us, we saw a lot more drama internally between the groups. And with ours, our show kind of almost failed because of the idea that we just wanted to work together. We wanted to win. It wasn't a lot of drama. We didn't let drama get in the way. We communicated. We learned really quickly that this is how we were going to win. And so you need to have the balance, but you also need to have communication. And
someone flush the toilet?
You're in Chris's dressing room right now, right?
That was honestly a phantom flush. There's no one in this room except for me.
Oh no! Watch, Chris comes out of the bathroom right now.
Wiping his hands.
I didn't ask him to be in here.
That'd be hilarious. So to go back to our point, you think that Simon should be or probably is looking for like different races, different religions, different body types, so that, these days you can't just have a cookie cutter type band. You need, as you say, everyone to feel represented.
Absolutely. You need somebody with chops. You need somebody who could sing. And we've seen with Jelly Roll, it doesn't matter how you look, as long as you can, as long as you can sing, you can generate. So I think the idea is to sort of have that mix and finding the DNA. That's you can't really train DNA. That's the one thing I can say about my guys. Like each one of these guys, they have the DNA. They have it inside of them. That thing that's very different than everyone else. And so that's going to be the hardest part. But nothing like a nationwide search to help with that, help you find that.
Totally.
I hope. Listen, Simon, if you need any help, I know a guy.
You should definitely mentor. That'd be awesome. So what do you think? Do you think he will be successful in finding the next boy band?
I'm not betting against Simon.
No.
Yeah.
He should pick you, man. He should pick.
That's a bad bet. I would never take that. I would never take that bet. No, he's gonna do well. I think the process. So the thing that happened with our show, that kind of tailed off at in the third season was the idea of the stakes. The stakes are always going to bring eyeballs. You want to see high stakes, and these guys are like, when you're putting it all out there, and this is going to change your life. The stakes are really high. So we're going to watch. And I think to the testament of television as a whole, like if it fails, it's still success because like, we're going to watch the process, and the process is the fun part. We very rarely does everyone from every single vocal show end up becoming a megastar. It's tough to find. It just doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen every year. So that's going to be interesting, but I'm sure with Simon and his team and the know-how, they're going to figure it all out. I'm eager to watch. I'm eager to.
Now, Simon said that there hasn't been a decent boy band since One Direction, that it's been 14 years. And a lot of K-pop fans were annoyed about that. They're like, BTS, or there's a variety of different K-pop boy band groups. Where do you side on that? Is K-pop sort of the essence of being a boy band, or is that just like a completely different genre altogether?
Oh gosh. See, there's a fine line there. If you say like, yes, they are, then there's going to be fans that say, oh, they're way more than a boy band.
Right.
Yeah,
and if you say they're not, they're going to be like, well, they definitely are a boy band.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna play that game, but I will say that they have the same elements are incorporated, the same team format has to be formed and cultivated. There's singing, there's dancing, there's all the elements. I mean, sure. I think K-pop is just such a big thing by itself. and boy band sort of like lived on by itself. And so the K-pop has this sort of identity all its own. But sure, if they want to be boy bands, like, yeah, like they sing their butts off, they dance their butts off. They're it's incredible to watch.
Mm.
Do you think we should have a man band? I mean, there's boy bands, that target to like the younger audience, obviously, but I feel like man bands, like we're talking about like inclusivity here, body type. Well, what about ageism? Like, don't you think that should be a thing?
Sure. Listen, we're the boy bands hopefully grow up into man bands. I feel like that's what we are. We're a man band. We do what we can.
Just have some Pepto-Bismol before now. Things changed a little bit.
In your rider.
Yeah, so some Bengay, icy hot patch.
Simon also said that, in promoting this search, he said, this is a great opportunity for anyone who wants to go on and have a successful solo career. So he's already pitching the solo element before he's even found a band. Is the solo aftermath of a successful boy band, is that what every member's kind of striving for, or is he a bit off base on that one?
I think, all right, so this is a very, very good question. Loaded, but very good. So there is that person who goes into the group setting is like, I'm just doing this as a catalyst, move on with my solo career.
Wow.
I wasn't that guy. I had always just admired the groups that I was exposed to in the late 90s. And so the idea that I could be in one of those groups was always the thing. Being a solo act sort of like frightened me at the time. To be fair, I just was learning everything on the fly. A lot of these guys, to be fair, like Justin Timberlake, he's been, he was a solo act before he was in sync.
Right.
And then he went back to being a solo act. He's been groomed since he was very young to be the megastar that he is today. So I think it's very normal for him to think that way, having gone through the group and then go into a solo career. For us, I don't know. I just have so much fun. I had so much fun being in that, and then knowing that we are stronger together. At least for us, we're stronger together. So yeah, I think there's going to be two different sides to it. Obviously, you can't argue with Simon. He's like cultivated some of the biggest solo acts of this current gen. So with Harry Styles and his success, you can't. Yeah, it's definitely the elephant in the room.
Do you think?
What I would.
Oh, go ahead.
No. I would just hope that like you can do solo stuff and then come back.
Right.
Like that's what we want. In an ideal world, that's what we want as like a fan, right? We want to like see you guys go, be together, venture off, and then come back. And then if you want to venture off again, cool. But just always give us that thing that we fell in love with.
You listening, JT?
Yeah.
You listening, Justin Timberlake? Come back.
And, kind of on that same vein, you mentioned like people just hope that you kind of come back and you guys can reunite in the end, at least for the very least for the fans. But on the outside looking in, right, we're not in the band. We don't know the issues and all that kind of stuff. But from the outside, we think, what's the issue? Why can't you just reunite? And for people that did watch Making the Band in 2000, they're thinking like, what's Ashley's deal? Like, why can't he just suck it up? Like, from your end, give us a little insight. Like, what is the issue here?
I think the issue goes back to the point of origin, the idea that we started out this thing after being gone for 10 years. And I don't know, I could probably count on one hand and three of them are in the, somewhere in the building of people that said that this actually has a chance of being successful again. So I think that there's just like a natural doubt, and then that doubt started and never really, that it never really went away. And so for us, like I couldn't get into this thing again without having a sense of faith in our fans, faith in the guys that I'm working with. And I'm a constant optimist. So I just felt like if we put the energy in, it's, if we build it, they will come. I don't think he felt that way. And after several years of trying to get it going and like sort of taking meetings with each other and conference calls, realized that like we were stopping our dream from happening for one person. So we had to sort of make a hard choice. And You know, I don't know if it's as much him anymore as it's now us. So all fairness to everyone out there, you know, we've done a lot of work to build it to where it is now, and we hope that people could come out and just enjoy the iteration that it is. And you know, I feel bad to a certain degree because like we have a lot of fun. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we have a blast. Like it's just great. And it's great to reconnect with fans. It's great to reconnect with fans at this age. You know, girls who are now moms with their own kids and them coming to shows and sharing it generations down. And it's just every weekend that we get to do this, it's just so gratifying.
Oh, I love that. We have to go and see a show.
I would love
to.
I would love
It
to come and
sounds
see you guys.
awesome. Oh my gosh,
You would
I
have
would
to.
lose my crap in the audience.
It's a place where you should feel no shame in losing your crap.
I love
Except
it.
if it's literally like that's a bit, you know, clean up
Well,
an aisle.
I mean, if you have to take a little break, it's fine.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
someone earlier in this interview may have taken a crap behind
Yeah.
you, right? With
Flush.
the toilet flush earlier.
Yeah, the ghost of the theater that we're performing tonight.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Eric. It was
Thank
a pleasure
you.
speaking to you. Thanks for coming on the pod. Good
Thanks.
luck with the rest of the tour. We hope to come and see you sometime.
Oh, please do. Pop 2000 tour all over the country this year. You guys want to come, just hit me up. I got you tickets.
Thank you. And everyone watching, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.